Hi everyone, my name is Anne Mette Tygesen and I'm one of the product designers here at Pressalit. Today I'm here to talk about health, what it is and how it's evolving in our future. And I'm going to emphasize on how the trending design of products and our surroundings will affect our health. But before I start, please feel free to ask questions in the chat during the presentation. And we'll return to you with answers at a live Q&A after the presentation. First off, what is health? Originally, health was based on the absence of disease and measured by how well we would function physically. But as we look ahead, the concept of health is evolving. And WHO defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. And if we look at the definition of physical health, it's similar to the traditional definition. It's still about the absence of disease and about having a well-functioning and pain-free body, but also includes having a lifestyle that prevents you from developing chronic diseases in the future. Now, design might not be able to cure a disease, but it's there to help you develop and maintain a healthy lifestyle. What helps you in this case is the design of playful, fun and exciting fitness tools like supboards and running apps and tapping shoes that can motivate you and your friends to stay active. Meanwhile, graphic design studies show that the design of packaging and the layout of supermarkets can determine whether you eat a bag of crisps or a bag of carrots on a daily basis and thereby maintain a healthy diet. And in Denmark, we even found that putting cigarettes in a hidden display reduces the amount of teenagers who start smoking. This means that if used correctly, both physical, graphic and digital design efficiently affects your current and future physical health in a positive way. And on this positive note, let's move on to mental health. Now, mental health is about your mental state. That is, whether you are thriving or not. And it's about being able to unfold your abilities and handle everyday challenges and stressors. And most importantly, it's about having a general satisfaction in life. And just like your physical health, this can be affected by the design of your surroundings, like the design of an office with acoustic walls that enable you to concentrate and solve complex problems. Or an urban design with streetlights to make you feel safe and able to walk home at night. Or take, for instance, the opposite situation, like a glass bridge. It's way safer than any wooden bridge, but it's designed to make you feel afraid, and that fright is making you unable to walk or unable to do anything within your control, just because the design looks unsafe. Now, to most people, this happens as a fun experience and only occurs once or twice in a lifetime. But imagine that you struggle with involuntary spasms on a daily basis. These spasms don't just occur on their own. They're triggered by fear and by stress. So when designing products for people with spasms, it's even more important to make them feel safe through what they see, in order to give them the best possibilities to thrive and perform on a level equal to everyone else. Now, talking about everyone else, let's move on to social health. Social health is about being part of a social network and being able to participate in it with other people. This is affected by multiple human factors, and design-wise, the most important task is to provide access to the social networks. This includes everything between you and the place you are going, like having a bus stop or access to an elevator. But getting there isn't enough. Design must also ensure that you're able to stay there through the whole experience. And in case you have physical disabilities, your social health can be very limited by the absence of a ceiling hoist or a changing table in a bathroom. And for elderly people with walking difficulties, just the lack of a bench can limit them from exploring their social neighborhood. And studies even show that elderly people are some of the most lonely people, and the loneliness is increasing. Except in Italy, where streets and plazas are designed to bring people together, including elderly people, who gather together and observe the city life, watching kids play football, women making pasta, and enjoying the abundance of life in the city. All they need is to live close by, have a place to sit, and feel welcome. And luckily, architecture and design that aims to include people is one of the tendencies that we see evolving around health. We even see these tendencies move towards a global trend, with examples in the Nordic countries, USA, Poland, and India, just to name a few. And in all of these projects, all three aspects of health are integrated in buildings that were designed to provide equal possibilities for everyone, in a way that supports both your physical, mental, and social health through your whole life. One of these projects is called Generationernes Hus, or the House of Generations, and is located here in Denmark. Take a look.
Mit navn er Søren Juresa. Jeg er arkitekt og partner hos Erik Arkitekter. Det er en forsøg, hvor alle segmenter af samfundet det bliver bragt sammen. Det var virkelig det hele vendt på hovedet. På den måde, at vi skulle blande forskellige boliger sammen i nogle forskellige typologier, som enten bofællesskab eller naboskab. Det er vores menneskelige natur, at vi vokser i generationer. I Generationernes Hus kan vi sige, at det, der er vigtigt for sundhed, det er, at boliger er indrettet efter behov i funktionaliteten. Huset er tænkt på den måde, at det giver alle svar på det individuelle, men også i fællesskab til sammen.
The approach of the House of Generations is something we see as important and relevant when looking at future solutions and how they can support health in all its aspects. Another major driver that we expect to enhance health is digital solutions, one of which is called digital health tracking. Digital health tracking is already extremely present in our private lives, and we expect this trend to become a bigger part of healthcare in our future. Back in the days, we might only be observing whether we would gain or lose weight, and we would use the body mass index as an expression of health. But nowadays, with our smart devices, we are self-tracking our health in ways that were never possible before. We track how well we sleep, how much we exercise, and the speed of our heartbeat. And we even start to add on products like intelligent water bottles that measure the amount of water we drink each day and remind us to drink more in case we forget. And it's by having insight to this data that people are taking more control and bigger responsibility for their health. And for that reason, self-tracking has become a big part of our lives, and the request for more is increasing day by day. Right now, you can even buy a watch that measures your mental health by tracking your pulse and tone of voice to reveal levels of sadness, anxiety, happiness, and much more. And in some cases, the device will even act in ways to help you calm down and regain your mental stability, just like the water bottle that reminds you to stay hydrated. Basically, all these technologies and data are there to support your goals for a healthy lifestyle. In addition to the self-tracking devices, we also see tracking that isn't read by you, but is still there to benefit your health. In care institutions, we see floors that detect when you fall and call for assistance. and ventilation systems that detect concentrations of CO2 and urine in the air, and automatically replaces all the polluted air with fresh air. And we hope to see a lot more automatic healthcare tracking, especially combined with the technologies we already know from private self-tracking. With these technologies, care staff in the future should be able to detect illnesses that would otherwise go unnoticed. But not only that, by doing continuous automatic tracking, we will be able to predict and prevent illnesses before they develop. And on top of that, in case you do get sick, the tracking will detect which treatment are working and what interventions have the most positive effect. Today, especially when working with mental illnesses, it can be almost impossible to determine whether an intervention is working or not, especially when working with people with memory loss, people who tend to get confused, or people who have lost their ability to speak. But by using smart devices that track the user's mental health all day, every day, you can determine whether an intervention is causing them to have less anger, fewer tear breaks, and have a more active day. So by inviting tracking technologies into your lives, you not only gain more insight and control over your own health, but also enable your loved ones and caregivers to take better care of you and provide the right treatments.